also lobby, because they say no, you can't. Even if you are a majority party, it's not your business. It's the business of all of us. They say they have to lobby you. You know, to have their way. They lobbied and had their way, and it now comes to your own turn. You say no, we have drawn up a list. Whether or not the other parties are even agreed with them, it is still something that should have been open, because that's what you said it happens. So why should your own be restricted now when the other person who is the majority is not restricted? You kicked against it. So if we want the correct thing to be done, do initiate it so that subsequent institutions can now draw from you and say yes, even though they were in the majority or in the minority, they allowed this situation to play out. So this time around, we are standing on that foundation built. You cannot, after throwing stone, and then the glass breaks, and you turn around to say, no, it should not be. So what happened now? It has happened. We are on level ground now.
Okay.
From now onwards, let us.
No. Now we're not level ground.
Very level ground.
Yes,
You see, in Nigerian politics, what I have found out is that vindictiveness, unforgiveness is the hallmark. PDP openly campaigned against Gbajabiamila. Perhaps it is the way to get back at them. That finally have taken that position. You people said I should not be the one seated on it. And so I am not going to listen, and I know my position. But if they have a law that regulates this system of choosing whoever occupies which in terms of that minority leadership, Gbajabiamila does not have a right to so take that particular person alone, because that law should be able to regulate him. But why is he bringing up prayer now? It looks as if there is no law, which means he might have the power to take that position. Because what I'm seeing is vindictiveness at play.
No, but we're also told that there are other sections of minority parties said they met, consulted among themselves, and then decided on who should represent them and forwarded their own list.
So how come for the minority that said they sat and consulted among themselves did not have the PDP with them, if they're complaining that the PDP did not have them during the periods that
vindictiveness?
So how come they also did the same? How come they didn't have the PDP with them too, and then have that consultations with the PDP and perhaps have come up with that other list?
This is what I'm trying to say. When PDP conducted its own, they sidetracked them, and they said, no, you cannot sidetrack us. We are on our own.
So they also sidetracked the PDP.
This is it. So you sow, you reap.
Yes, for me.
And for a party like a PDP that has years of experience behind it, this thing shouldn't have happened. Even if other people did it, you say, no, this is the correct thing to be done.
All right, then. Okay, we got your thoughts there.
You saw the wind you reap.
Let's move on. It's 12 minutes. No, it's 12 minutes after 11. I want to open the phone lines to let our listeners be part of the conversation now. Of course, you can send us your thoughts to 07019339962. That number is for text messages and WhatsApp only. 07019339962. And then on Facebook, we are Today 95.1 FM on Facebook. Please like our page, tweet at us. Our Twitter handle is at TodayFM951. Phone lines are 0817 0000951 or 0810 9510951. Those are the numbers to get to us here in the studio. And initially there were three things we spoke about today. The very first thing
suspension of Ruga
was suspension of Ruga. Why did they suspend it? They say it was not in tandem with the NLTP. We said, well, a lot of Nigerians also pushed against it. We saw the Arewa youth group were also beginning to give ultimatums. Perhaps at that point the government felt this was beginning to escalate, maybe, but they're saying it's because it's not in tandem with the NLTP, and that's why they're suspending Ruga. And
ministerial screening.
Ministerial screening, and how thorough should it be? Should we have bow and go, or go and bow, whatever, whatever it might be for the Senate, or do you prefer to have ministers designate have their portfolios assign them when they come for screening? So you can tell that this minister you're screening is Minister for Aviation or Minister for Health, and perhaps have your proper questions aligned along that path, and said this might make us have better people who will fit into this portfolio as more of a square peg in a square hole. And finally, we spoke on the issue of PDP's position on how they felt they've been outsmarted in the House of Representatives over the position of minority leader, and they say they will not take it. As a matter of fact, they said the speaker should go back and reverse the pronouncements he's made in calling somebody else as the minority leader, that there was standing rules, and this was a total disgrace. Well, I watched the rancor yesterday, and that was what was most disgraceful for me. I already saw people pulling off their barbariga and people folding sleeves, ready to. Somebody maybe came. I just took the mace. I just dropped it. I'm like, why are we so macy people? Anything happens, we head to the mace. Yeah. It's like that we want to run off with it, or we want to throw it. What is? Could we just let that mace? He took the mace down, then took the book. I don't know that it's the Constitution, and okay. Calm down. Some was removing Agbada at the back. Some were trying to throw punches and shoving.
The one that was removing Agbada, when he covers his face, somebody laughs on it.
At the moment, he was in darkness.
I'm telling you.
Somebody quickly threw a few punches. And he probably won't know who did that now. Or maybe when he watches the video, he must But I mean, really, this is not the sort of assembly we expect to see. We want to see people who are ready to sit down and do the business of the day. And I was saying this yesterday. I said, of course, all the argument on who is minority leader and why it must be this particular person and not that person, or whether rules were obeyed or not, is not because they think that they're going to offer better solutions to our problem. It's basically because of the monies attached to those positions. Of course, we know that leadership in the House attracts extra money than floor members. So for me, I just thought it was people who are trying to fight for a position that will attract extra money to them. Whether you're a minority leader or not, as long as you're in the House, how much effort do you put in passing the right bills for your people, I guess, is what is most important for a lot of us. But politicians will be politicians, and that's what we saw yesterday, politicians politicking. So we'll move on from that to getting your thoughts on all the issues we've spoken about today. I'll start with the phone line so quickly, 0810-9510-951 or 0817-0000-951. Hello, good morning.
Good.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Eto, calling you from Rumaholu.
All right, Eto from Rumaholu, go ahead.
As for me, you spoke well. You and Opagadugubo, Iba, and if I told my man, I was there. Both of you need to be in federal cabinet, because you people supposed to represent this country, not others who have the sentiment instead of that boga and the whatever they are called. In terms of in a boy state, there's a place those people settle, and they capture that community to the extent that it has.
Please do call back. We lost that connection. Suspension of Ruga. If Ruga is to solve herdsmen and farmers' clashes, I want to ask, are the herdsmen now Nigerians, or do they want to give Sudanese our lands because we were told that they're from Sudan? Who told you they're from Sudan? Andrew from Omagua says Annie Ima did not read Goodluck Jonathan's statement properly. I read it. He said that it is to establish ranches in the north for the production of beef. Primarily was the purpose of the 100 million naira. Godwin Wobo from Port Harcourt said that man is liable to face the law because they implemented a law without obeying the law.
Which man?
I don't know which man, so that's why I'm skipping it. Annie, the Igbos are the major opposers of Ruga, the rejected colonies. Ruga ranching, farm settlement for Fulanis, cow grazing lands for Fulanis in the east. But the Igbos are the greatest traders of inland dry port in Kaduna, built by Kaduna State and the Federal Ministry of Transportation, led by Amechi in 2017. That's from John Ox. Good morning. I am Ernest from Woji. Please tell PDP that the match is now 1 versus 1. And please tell that lawmaker that was trying to remove his Agbada to wear shirts next time, so it will be easy for him to remove. Suspension of Ruga. If Ruga, okay, I think I read that early. It says, let there be piggery colony all over the 36 states of Nigeria too, and I will believe. That's from Ben. Annie, the Igbos are the major opposers of Jonox. I read that earlier. This is your panelist, Mr. Emmanuel, and other Karma advocates with you in your studio are teaching and propagating immoral speeches on Femi Gbajabiamila's unconstitutional trajectory. Daniel Gibson from Port Harcourt. PDP imposition and impunity is becoming endemic. Are they the only minority in the House to write letter to Speaker without consultation to other parties? Now, a faction of the PDP and other minority parties have elected their preferred choice. Why the cry? This is from Stan. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello.
Please turn off your listening device.
Done that.
All right. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Igozi. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, please. You see, let me start from the Ruga suspension.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think to me, why it seems maybe people are against it or something is because of, you know.
Oh dear, must be network. Do try if you can't. The phone lines are available. Text lines are available. 07019339962. Can still send me your thoughts via that platform. 07019339962. Good morning, Annie and others. I'm upset listening to Emmy because of his political bias on issues. All right, anything about Ruga is optional and not mandatory. He should first of all donate all his lands before asking others to do the same. Ebere John, you send that from Isioko. Chima Obi says, don't blame people for expressing fear. Please, if I may ask, how many Fulani herdsmen have been arrested and sentenced to prison? Quite a number. In fact, I've seen several of these people who either it was because of cattle rustling or because of other issues that had to do with some of these headsmen that were arrested, were paraded, and some have been sentenced. So yes, quite a number actually. You went on to say APC are doing PDP what they did to them last time. Politics is playing out there. I guess that's had to do with the House of Representatives. This is what happened in the National Assembly yesterday is not new in Nigerian politics. It happened in River State 8 Assembly when APC chose Josiah Olu to be their minority leader, but the House chose Frederick Anabraba instead. And it stood, so it's now a trend, and we should abide by it. It's politics all the way. Elionu Indidi, you send that in. Annie, the president have done the right thing. For me, whatever the reasons advanced, it's an intelligent way to end an unpopular program. I don't want to believe the argument that there exists a disconnect in communication because Garba Shehu spoke extensively on this. The president is just being sensitive. No youth group should be sentimental about an intelligent action. James Opongwa, you send that from Uzoba. Another here says, if you allow Ruga now to ameliorate the present Fulani carnage all over the nation, you'll be laying foundation for a greater Holocaust because Ruga settlement is a potential emirate. Jerry, you send that from Alu. Ima, it is not lack of communication, but evidence of the president not being in control of his government. More of this to come. Watch out. This is from Mr. Loom. But again, I find that very funny that some Nigerians, okay, maybe after putting all the pressure, the presidency says, okay, fine, this is not acceptable. We'll take it back. And then they come and say, oh, okay, that's why we told you that this government is phony. Look, they had to go back. They had to go back on the proposal. But you just asked them to go back, and they did. So at what point is it a listening government and a point that it is not a prepared government?
No, what it has done, what the president has done showcases listenership to the people he's ruling. I must tell you frankly. Now, rigidity can never be an acclaimed quality in governance. But flexibility, looking at issues, even though coming from you, and then you look at it and no, they should have been done this way, and there's almost outcry everywhere. Let me withdraw that. You are not ruling yourself, for goodness sake. So I think it's listenership.
So, but why did you prepare properly so you don't have to withdraw?
No, that's what should have been done. But of course, you cannot, because you've uttered it out, stick with it. That means you are an autocratic government.
What do you think of Bakadokubo? Is it listening government or a government who is unprepared?
All of them are rolled into one. In it, you find, listening, okay. But truly, if you are better prepared, you won't have to be coming here and there, back and forth, no. Because the issues that are being, well, it has to do with sensitivity as well, because you need to be sensitive.
Yes.
And then defer whenever it's necessary.
All right. What do you think? Sensitive government or a government who is unprepared?
To me, when you are bringing out the public policy, there's always need for you to find a common ground based on the public opinion and all that. But I've had people now say, to me, what people are just doing is trying to, being antagonize this government, some persons. If peradventure now the government decided to go by the ranching, because I can hear some people saying now.
What do you think? Do you think this is a government that is responding, or a listening government, or a government that's unprepared? Real quickly, just what do you think?
It's just people are saying things that they don't even understand. Because if the government goes back, I see the same thing. Some people are just trying to do certain
Okay,
things.
Emefaga. Moving on.
That is to me.
To Alhaji
Yes.
Nasir. Oh,
Yes, it's a sign of, should I say, good things to come, that in this new dispensation, a policy has been pronounced, people kicked against that policy, and in a jiffy, it's just suspended that policy. It means the government is listening.
all right then. We got your thoughts on that. Phone lines are still open. Let me see if I can get one or two calls. Hello, today 95.1 FM.
Hello. Morning.
Yes, good morning, Chris. Could you speak up?
Yes, I'm Christian. Good morning.
All right, Christian, good to have you. Go ahead.
Yes, let me make this fact known because I hear about the land public people are talking about the issue of what happened in the house. When we talk about change, let us know that man, as long as we live, we're a duality. We have our natural laws and we have spiritual laws that guide our existence. When you talk about change, you don't just sow and expect that you will not reap it. If you don't reap it, then how do you know that what you have done is bad? It is only in the experiences of reaping it that is when you bring about change. Because you now know that, oh, if I do this thing now today, tomorrow I will pay for it. So that will bring about the change you are talking about. Because you must reap it. That is by the way. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So when you talk about Ruga, I think as a people, we should be more of looking at integration. Nigeria is where we are today because we are living in mutual fear and suspicion of religious ethnocentric sentiment and all that. We're talking about, I don't know Nigerians, I don't know people from this that are doing business. And when they talk about private business, when bank goes into this, the federal government not come in and do a bailout, talking about and the religious thing that does not matter.
Okay.
And yet, want Nigeria to grow.
All right, we got your thoughts here. Thank you very much. Hello, today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Annie.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is Ahusi Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Yes, Annie, on the issue of our senator,
House of Reps.
ministers designate.
Okay, Mr.
I think, yes, I think they should have a portfolio before appear in the floors of the Senate for screening, so that we can be able to screen and know the minister who is going to perform better. Because when you know a particular thing you're going to do, and you'll be asked questions on that very area, and the answer you gave will determine if truly what you are going into you actually know it very, very well. I think it's better for them to allocate the portfolio to them before they appear before the Senate. Then on issue of Ruga, I think we frown at the government, we the rural community, we as a spokesman of rural community, we frown at the presidency suspending the Ruga. Especially we need Ruga in Rumodogo. At least we can reach MOU with the whosoever involved. At least they can construct our road for us. You understand? Rumodogo is in River State. We need Ruga. We need them.
All right,
Bring Ruga to Rumodogo.
All right, then. We got your thoughts there. This is Madison from Thai. This world is a small unit. Then talk of politics. What happened in the rep accord here? And I preempt it will come as a law of karma. Nobody from Rivers should complain. Any PDP dominated house in Rivers careless about minority party. Saraki announced Alin Dume against Lawan as my majority leader in the 8th Senate. I'm sure Chinda and PDP applauded them. The man in the mirror is PDP. This is from Kingsley. Good morning, all in the studio. One issue of the rural grazing areas, Ruga or Pine, that the whole issue has been politicized along ethnic, religious, and party lines. After the defect of former President Jonathan, the southern part of Nigeria, after the defeat, I'm sure you meant to say, the southern part of Nigeria, the southeast and the south-south, who were predominantly Christians, became antagonistic to most policies of the Buhari administration, either as a result of the unsubstantiated Islamic posture of President Buhari or the erroneous belief that he was behind Boko Haram terror. terrorists to make the then administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan ungovernable. As a result of this bitter political division, most policies and actions of this administration are not x-rayed without bias to appreciate its merits and demerits, but rather trivialized on the altar of religion and ethnicity. Barrister Collins sent that in from Owerri. Annie, the president have done the right thing. For me, whatever the reasons advanced is an intelligent way to end an unpopular program. James Pongwa, you sent that earlier. Annie, you do all the talking in the studio. What about listeners? This is, see your opportunity? See? Excellent from Port Harcourt. Your opportunity for you to say something to contribute. You're talking about me talking. All right, moving on. Nigeria is one. Nothing is wrong having a Ruga settlement, but I don't support giving them a permanent land for free. They need to rent it and pay the state yearly. Thanks. Austin, you sent that in from Aba. Peter from Oibo says, greetings, Annie and others. Annie, the Alhaji in the studio has spoken very well about the Ruga. Let them start from the north first. Good morning, Annie, and my able men in the house. May God bless you all for speaking the truth. For the Iowa Forum to say Igbo men live in the north, they will make life uncomfortable. It shows that they have a plan aside the Ruga thing. I'm Silas. I just want to make common sense. What happened in the House of Reps was plotted by an immediate past minister. This is from Mr. Law. Good morning, Annie. Please help me ask Emifia Haga when we will start arguing on how to build infrastructure, improve education, pay minimum wage, etc. I'm sick and tired of cattles every day. Sambisa is big enough. I am Okiza from the southeast, no land for Ruga. Annie, Ruga suspended at what alternative? The best option should have been to start Ruga from where they accepted. From there, others will follow, or do federal government want to Ruga the entire state at once? This is Noble from Noble C. Dico. All right, let me get to the phone line. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, I couldn't establish communication there. And this is Mr. Dokubo. You are a true sagacious nationalist. Daniel, you said that from Port Harcourt. Whatever thing you sold in primary school, you are reaping in secondary school. Chinda and the PDP should not cry. Man forget quick, but God did not forget. Please, Chinda, go back to the back seat and listen to Oga Bajabiamila. Good morning to you all. I am Ebere Engineer from Port Harcourt. He says federal government suspension of Ruga. Their plan did not work for them. What happened to the grasses they were to import from Brazil and other countries? Have their money finished? Annie, please, can you educate me the difference between ranching and colony or Ruga settlement? Jonathan approved ranching, which is a modern way of livestock farming. Tell Emmy to keep his politics from all issues. Sonny from Uzoba. Annie, you don't want to tell Rivers people what happened yesterday in the House of Rep if it is APC issue to have been topic of the day in your station. But tell Honorable Chinda. All right. He says it's what he cooked for Josiah and Alabraba in 2016. Thank you, everybody. Emmanuel, they said if it was an APC issue, and I would have made it topic because we want to drag APC through the mud, but we don't want to because it's PDP. So that makes us what PDP.
Well, that's what he said. Of course, some days we'll receive all party cards.
I'm yet to hear anybody say we're ABGA. It's not fair. Or Labour. I'm protesting on behalf of those parties. At one point, somebody should accuse us of being an ABGA station or Labour. What's this other new one?
There are parties, there are parties.
Or SDP. Balance these things. And he rejected... Can you imagine? They should make us AAC sometimes to support our I mean, rejecting Ruga is just hatred in disguise, sponsored by politicians to rubbish Buhari. And we see the negative side of Ruga and ignore the positive side. Opaka never see anything good in Buhari's administration. Tell him to check his conscience always. What happened in the lower house is the law of karma. That's some shimile. I'll take a phone call and we've got to go. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning. Unfortunately, we can't establish a call. We have to go. Let me start with Emifia Haga.
Yes, I think on the issue of ministerial designate, I think what I think is we should think about patriotism, attaching portfolio to them. I don't think we actually meet the purpose for which we are gunning for these things, because president might also, reshuffle his cabinet after the confirmation by the National Assembly. On the issue of Ruga rejection and all that, I think what you want, the Bible says, do to others what you want them to do to you. If you think that you are at liberty to do your business in elsewhere and other, legitimate one at that. Also try to accommodate other persons. We must not begin to reject people because we think that we hate them or not that. Besides, we are Christians. We are not supposed to hate according to us in this part of this country. We should love one another and see ourselves as one people, one nation. I think that is the way forward. Then the National Assembly, the House of Reps, I think by the time Chinda and other persons have tasted the bitterness of trying to undermine the legal practice and all that, I think after today they will understand that it is good to do the right thing at all times. So now we are on the common ground where we will know that from today we will always do the right thing.
Thank you very much. Emifia Haga, political analyst. Opaka Dokubo.
Thank you. I think with regard to president, and I think we should give the president some slack when he presents certain people since he believes can help him deliver the Nigerians what he promised them. And so to insist that they must come with their portfolios, for me, it's a little bit far-fetched. Let us leave him and believe that he means well and that he's going to have people that will deliver. Whatever he may have done, may have informed his set of people that he thinks will deliver with him. I think we should give him a slack there. And at the end of the day, hold him responsible for it and not.
All right, then.
With regard to Ruga, say no, Ruga.
All right, then.
Go to ranching. Then please help us here within the South. Let us explore the ocean and whatever it has to offer Nigerians.
Okay.
For our House of Reps, we want to see more honorable behavior.
All right, we got your thoughts there. And then to Alhaji Nasser. What?
Yeah, thank you. I still insist that for once, let us have nominees with their portfolios attached to them so that we can truly assess them. Let us try as much as possible. If it doesn't work out, we are at liberty to change. And whether the portfolios are attached or not, whenever the president is minded, he can still reshuffle, whether you attach or you not. So for that reason, let's be given the benefit of that to assess the nominees in their profession. There's no harm in that. So I advocate for. As for what happened in the National Assembly, it's a foregone conclusion. Like I said, I wasn't expecting anything less. The bottom line now is, having now tasted what we should, are we prepared now to turn a new leaf and give ourselves to the service of the people instead of always thinking about our own party politics?
Right.
And remember that when we are saying politics, the political parties in the assembly, they all have their own rights. So guarantee you your big right, your majority right, you guarantee us our own minority rights. When you try to impose, because you're in the majority, don't forget, the table will turn, and the table has turned.
Thank you so much.
On the Ruga, I still say Ruga is good. It's big business. It could generate employment either way. But let's start with this charity begins at home business. I want to see them thriving over there. Let them spend everything they can spend. Get Ruga, how do they call it, booming in those areas. Then we can key in.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Alhaji Nasser A. Owo, State Islamic leader and Vice President General, River State Council for Islamic Affairs, veteran journalist too. I appreciate you coming. And this here says, Annie Alumulu is a PDP member and from the South. So why the cry is not only other parties that select him and other officials it's all parties inclusive. Bonky, you send that in from Port Harcourt. This says, good day, Today FM. Tell Emmy to leave me, I'm having a laugh here. Have a nice day ahead. This is from Legacy. Annie and Ima, good morning. Ruga settlement in whose interest? Private business owners of the cows. I think business ventures like that of cows is a private venture and should be considered in that regard. This is my solution to Ruga. well, I don't know. It says the North controls about 90% of Nigerian land mass. Within the region exist the most reliable and consistent river systems. No drought recorded in over 100 years. That's suitable for all manner of irrigation, cultivation, and river channeling through the vast Fadama marshes. In fact, you can drive 150 kilometers within lush arable land in every state in northern Nigeria without seeing appreciable human habitation or farmland. Therefore, any consumption of thinking of establishing rural stations outside should not be thought. I'm thinking that's about the much I can take. Emmanuel, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, let me start with the question somebody asked about Elumelu, who now was used in replacing Chinda. The PDP is saying it was Chinda, not Elumelu. That's just a crisis. But I think for Nigerian politicians, let them leave vindictiveness. This tit for tat reprisal approach to issues is very bad. Let them, they call them honorable members of the House. Are they behaving honorably? Let them not behave dishonorably.
All right, thank you so much. Annie, good morning. Annie, for all his brilliance, Amo says too partisan, and that is a disservice to God, who has endowed him with such gifts. The nation and humanity. Emeka Okoroba. And you didn't get to say anything. That was a disservice to the time I allotted to you to speak. Should have said something about the issues we talked about. Well, thank you, everybody, for being part of this. See you tomorrow, but stay on the dial. Entertainment Express is next.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
You got a fetish for my love. Been waiting for a lifetime for.
Listen to Entertainment Today
every weekday
at 11:30 a.m.
And I'm so I don't even mind over my loving you.
Every weekday
at 11:30 a.m.
Only on Today 95.1 FM.
Voice of the people.
You got a fetish for my love. Been waiting for a lifetime for.
Listen to Entertainment Today
every weekday
at 11:30 a.m.
And I'm so I don't even mind over my loving you.
Every weekday
at 11:30 a.m.
Only on Today 95.1 FM.
Voice of the people.
I know if he chop food, keep plate. Can't even ball cause his haters try to deflate. Whatever I do, they search for the mistakes. Some of them say my album
worse than the mixtape.
Some of them smile.
Right, you know this joint any day, anytime, right? I did feel like saying, Juju, they worry me. But, I tried to relate with the song. I was trying to figure out what was he saying. Because, when you mention Juju, like, it means, like, whatever you're doing isn't working out because there's some spiritual
voodoo.
Yeah, holding you down from home. But then
your village people are after you.
Yes, exactly. Your community members. But then in the song, like, it kind of sounded like Juju is a good one, like, is doing good and people are just hating, like whatever he does, people keep hating, but then he's doing good. I'm just confused anyways. And he dropped another lyric off this album from a song when he said, "Girl, your body hotter than hellfire." He's like,
Okay, I don't do all this local, so I don't have an idea of what you're talking about.
International local. Anyway, Throwback Thursday on the show, guys. Shout outs to all of you. Ice Prince there, Juju off the album Eli. Everybody loves Ice Prince. That's what it stands for. I'm the coolest kid on radio. You could call me Trace, the guy you just have to love.
And I am the one and only Radio Majesty.
All right, guys. So there's a lot of stuff we need to talk about on the show. We really don't have a lot of time. Happy birthday to anyone who's celebrating
Malia
today.
Obama.
You said it like she's your pally, like, like she's your sister from another mother.
I'm from the Obama's family, so come on.
All right. Every time you go to sleep, right?
No, in the real life. I've seen her once or twice.
Exactly. Usually when
In
you go
the
to
UK?
sleep, like when you just close your eyes, you're part of the family. Like I get.
Juju, the way you trace. See? This is it.
Because I'm part of the MJ family as well, like Jackson.
Like my family.
No, not your family. Michael Jackson. The Jacksons. Anyway, so happy birthday to a friend of mine, too, Nini, celebrating her birthday today, yeah? So shout outs to you, and shout outs to any other person who's out there who's celebrating, who's rocking, who's keeping it real. We celebrate with you guys, but we have to start off on a very, very controversial note. Is what we're starting to show off.
Trending stories on social media.
That's it. Kiss. Hey, yo, Kiss. Is it Kiss or Kiss?
Kiss.
Like,
Kiss.
GYY went like, we gave you the name. And brother went like, no problem. You gave me the S, I put the Z.
More like
you
it.
gave me. He said you didn't give me the name. You gave me the S. All right, take your S's back. And
then the Z.
I put my Z's in. You're like, so we could tell the difference. On paper is Kiss. We still call him Kiss. Anyway, so shout outs to Kiss Daniel, by the way. He's been really hot. Like, this year, himself and Burna Boy, I've been like, especially him for the hits. Like a lot of them coming out back to back to back to back. Great album. And recently, he had to go and jump on something that is not really versatile in. I think he's not one of a person who should involve himself in issues like that. Because every time he's tried, it doesn't really come out
Backfires.
well. You know what's happening with Koza now? And Temi Dakolo's wife. Right, so I don't think we should go too much into that. Anyways, Kiss Daniel came out and said that all the other artists no get sense. Wizkid
They're
is the
brainless.
They're brainless. I wonder how they sing. Wizkid is the only one
said
that's
all
smart.
The celebrities.
Okay, so not just artists, so celebrities. So even Bobrisky. He is a celebrity, eh? I could make an exemption for his statement for Bobrisky because, like, if you got brains, you wouldn't be like it is. But anyways, let's go on. So Kiss Daniel said that Wizkid is intelligent
the
guy.
only one that has brain. And you know how he was supporting Pastor Biodun, the senior pastor of Koza.
Before Kiss Daniel will add your name to people that said he supported.
Wait, Trace. From you know that he was supporting Pastor Biodun.
From the statements he made earlier.
Yes, it's so obvious that he was supporting him. And then this morning we all woke up to another different news altogether, saying that he never granted any interviews from with Vanguard or any other newspaper organization at all, and he never took sides as well. But that was what we read yesterday.
People don't understand. Like, Nigerians are so hypocritical. Everybody's a mother hypocrite, though. That's what we are. Like, honest. And now since this stuff came up, I began to realize how hypocritical we really are. Hypocritical. Like, everybody was saying what they're saying. If it was their sister that came out and spoke like that, and people started saying the opposite, I'm pretty sure they would be mad. But it's how it is. It's Nigeria. It's public. But for kids, what you said strictly meant that you were supporting the pastor. That's what it meant. Like, it points to that direction. You didn't have to say, I am supporting. You just make statements that suggest that you are. And now you're angry.
He said he never categorically said.
Okay. So, it was uncategorical.
So we shouldn't hold him to that. But there is some other person that will have to hold him categorically for his word. Wizkid.
Wizzy. Oh, shit. See Wizzy, like, yeah. Wizzy is blessed. I think he got a new deal recently, biggest deal in Africa, he says. We don't know what the deal is about yet. We just know it's the biggest in Africa. And his clothing line got some other partnership with some other people recently I was seeing online. This kid, you're balling, your money is long, I don't blame you.
He has gotten to the stage where, having sexual intercourse is no longer his problem. And all he needs right now is just a lady. He said a girl, a chef, actually, not just anyhow lady, a chef that can, cook good food. He said Naija food.
Because he loves Naija food.
only a better woman that can fly with me everywhere.
So my problem now is
I
with
know,
the better woman. What does he mean by better woman? So the other ones are
God-fearing is a
good.
better woman.
A God-fearing woman would not be flying with whiskey, though.
You've not seen the ones that will change him to the ways of the Lord.
Change him to what? Kobo or pounds or naira? Change him to what?
But to answer your question, yeah, I just feel he has seen a whole lot of maybe different kind of girls, what they're after. I think he's looking for a humble kind of girl.
Has he looked at himself to see what he himself is offering people? Like, it's easy to just blame other people.
What I'm
for
trying
being
to
wrong.
say
I'm
that
trying to say Whiskey doesn't put himself out to be one who really wants to find something serious.
Okay, now I don't know if you saw this post about this girl that said, months ago she said whiskey doesn't follow her back. She was going to commit suicide, kill herself, something. And now she has actually come out again to say that she is desperately in need of sleeping with whiskey. I think
she could be the better woman.
Cook, yeah,
if you can cook, that completes the circle.
I think Whiskey just gave her the opportunity to slide into his DM because right now he's looking for a chef, a good woman, and if she thinks she has all of that quality, this is an opportunity for her to. But come on, Auntie, you did it there.
My point now. my point is, like, just learn how to cook if you don't. And I'm sick and tired of ladies who do this. Now, if you're saying this sort of things, you do anything to sleep with Wizkid. And then Wizkid sleeps with you or does something and leaves you. And then the next thing is, he used me. Men are this, men are that. Just check out how you put out yourself. You just made yourself look like, yo. And this is what Wizkid perhaps is tired of. That's why he's saying.
Exactly.
That's why he's saying, I need a better woman. Like, I don't know. This is good, but he needs better.
I need a girl like you, yeah. Yeah. So, he needs a girl like himself or a girl like you. By you, I think you'll be referring to Tiwa Savage.
No, that one is still married though.
No, she's not.
She's not officially divorced.
She's separated. She's
not officially divorced.
Yes,
So
I know
she's
that
still
one.
married.
It doesn't matter. They're separated. Use
Anyways,
the
it's
word
been tapping
separated.
out. It's been tapping out, so anything
Good
happened
in the public.
in public. So yeah,
And because
that's
she's
cool.
now signed to an abroad record label, they can no longer. So he needs to replace Tiwa Savage. I don't know. I'm putting on things here.
You're trying to figure out what's happening. Anyway,
Exactly.
before we bore ourselves with what Wizkid and Tiwa might be up to, like some other people are up to stuff. Since we're talking controversial, I think we just get into it directly. I'll play you stuff from Naira Marley now.
Oh, your best friend.
It can never be.
Who knows how to do the Supe dance? Because I want to learn it.
That dance sucks.
Slide into my DM. Make a video of yourself doing the Supe dance. I want to learn it. But I'm serious.
It
Trey.
sucks.
How? Do it again. Let me see. You're
I
trying
never
to show
did it
me.
for you before,
You
ever.
were trying to show me
I never did.
before.
I want to bring myself
Listen,
that
guys,
low to do that.
Trace is
I'm not-
trying to do
honestly,
it for
I'm not
me.
judging people who do it. Like I
I
admire their
want to learn
courage,
it.
like to want to have fun in that manner.
Supe.
It's like one dance came out, and people were all over. I couldn't.
No,
one
but
corner
you know-
rather, one corner.
But
I couldn't ever try.
But people were like, one corner came out. It was not even a
One corner
Nigerian
is not a
dance.
dance.
Yeah,
It's a trend.
But this one is also
This
a
is a trend. It's
This
not
is
really a
also-
dance.
Good.
Like,
It is also a trend.
get the
as
history.
Well. And like what I read, somebody said because this one is a Nigerian person that did it, we are kicking against it. That when one corner came out, we were all going for the floor. Even war, we were doing the whole one
People
corner
kicked
thing.
against it even while we were dancing to
But
it.
good. Even celebrities were doing it. They'll make a video of themselves doing it.
People still kicked. That's what I'm saying. People still kicked against it, even though we had
So
a
are you
huge.
kicking against the soapy then?
That's not a dance. Like, come on, man. How does that make sense?
I want to learn. You guys teach me.
Coffee. That's why I admire Coffee. Like, Coffee is my favorite any day, anytime. No, for real. Like, yeah. Dance is more than just moving your body. Like a step or a move has history to it. If you don't get properly schooled, you wouldn't know. You have to read up to understand that, a step that you see has a history. There are certain things that come together to make a dance a dance.
Trees.
You really?
I get your point.
Coffee was asked, and she said they were asking her about several other dance, like you could say Nigerian dance culture, and she said, "I'm sorry, but I can't take this in the history of Niger dance. I've never seen a more disgusting, immoral dance like the so-called soapy. It should be it should never be encouraged. I'm really disappointed, and so am I. So am I, man. Like, how have we descended to a point where you do that and feel comfortable?
Naira Marley was in prison. He saw all of this.
Somebody
he gave us the
somebody
dance.
said,
You people should leave him alone.
Somebody said, God, can you please take Naira Marley and give us some local EP? Like, really, like, honestly.
But
I don't see how. And for the Malians, shout outs to all of you guys.
Think it's
cool.
something he saw in the prison. You know, they have to do these things to themselves.
Besides, don't forget he stole it too. Are you forgetting that he stole it?
Oh,
Oh, you're forgetting that one. And he's not seeing himself for the criminal that he is, obviously. Like, really, you stole this stuff and you haven't addressed that issue and you're coming to make words with Kafi. Let's listen to what he said, please. Let's listen to what he said about my Kafi. Hey, I'm coming for you, Naira. Let's listen to him. We'll be right back.
You can't dance. We're not even sure if you're a boy or a girl. Now, JJ, I sit down my own. They don't say my mouth no good though. They just they find my trouble. When we they use, no say pokoli. Us have the dance ourselves. You see, nowadays, our generation, no we make two people stand when they do. No be that time. We they dance. No they.
All right. That was Naira Marley. He said no be that time when they do with their dance. I think right now I feel offended. If I begin to argue with Naira Marley, I think I'm insulting my intelligence.
Oh my goodness.
That's the truth. Like, I would officially. I like the guy. That's the funny thing. I tried to make excuses.
Like
no, I like his song.
You like Naira Marley?
His song.
Really?
I'm correcting myself.
Trace,
his song.
Really?
His
oh
song.
My goodness.
But I like the guy as a person. No, I like one thing about him. No, yeah, I'll tell you true. Like, he might be wrong on a couple of things, but I like the fact that he still stands for what he believes in. Like, I like that personality about him.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody should tell him when he's been stupid. Like, yo, bro.
You like him? Tell him.
I haven't met him. If I have him
Slide
here,
into his DM.
I have.
Make a video and
I would make a video and tell him. I'll tell him. But I have always mentioned, like, yo, bro, you first of all came internet fair was like a crime. Like, what are you thinking? I think it's an embarrassment to my intelligence, really. Like, trying to make sense and argue with Naira Marley.
And it's funny how you like such a person. Wow.
No, I like something about the person.
Oh my goodness.
He's a human being. I can't dislike the brother, don't you think? Yeah, I can't hate him. He's a human being. Like, and he has qualities.
You can dislike somebody.
Right. There's some things that you can't like about a person, but you shouldn't hate a person like they are. It's different things. So coming out, say Kafi doesn't know how to dance. Like, Naira, how old are you? Naira, how old are you? Does Guinness Book of Records know you? Are you saying MJ doesn't know how to dance? Are you saying like, you know, like
P-Square, the likes of Paul
don't know how
and
to dance?
Peter?
Like, even if I'm not comfortable with Peter sometimes, I still feel like
Trace is here.
No, no hating. Like, I'm being honest. But you don't bring out Kafi. Like, see, he said he mentioned Pokoli. I like the guy. Pokoli is not a professional dancer. At least now. I don't know if he decides to. Doing that one step, that's the only step you do every video because it's what's trending, so people get you to come do it on their songs. Yeah. That's it. It doesn't make you a professional dancer. Like, dance is an art. Like, you need to study. Somebody get Naira Marley to go to school.
Pay for this segment right now. Trace is giving us dance lesson tutorials.
I don't know how to dance. I joined the dance school at one time. I wanted to, improve and, just try to know how to move and do a few steps. I couldn't last long. I just felt like, so I respect people that dance. So to come out and say that, yo, Kafi doesn't know how to dance, it's insulting. Like, pick your fights carefully. You picked one against Rugged Man. Look how it ended. Now you're picking another with Kafi. Like, next, don't ever pick a fight with the band.
I wanted to say something that the guys that came out to say he stole the dance from them, yeah? When they were dancing it, supposedly, the dance wasn't trending. But Naira Marley came, and we all know the dance. We never knew the dance was existing. So everybody thought it was Naira Marley's
Let me shock you.
Step.
I already seen the video of that dance before from those guys. They were the first people I saw it with sometime last year.
But it wasn't trending.
It wasn't. They weren't popular.
Good. So?
It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't mean Naira Marley. It doesn't mean Naira Marley invented the stuff because these guys didn't make it trend. They actually did the Free Naira Marley theme this year, and then did the dance with the song that they had. They even had the whole song arranged and did the whole dance, like, which is disgusting to even like. What
he was doing it, guys. He was using his hands.
They're moving their hands like shit.
See?
I told you, I saw a few of my friends who were on social media, and then they were like, "Yo." And you do that and put I would go to a club and the song plays and I begin to do that, like,
But
It's
the
crazy.
dance is
I
really
don't have-
quite disgusting.
Yeah, I'm
if
not.
you're
I'm not
asking.
hating anybody who
Do
does
you-
it. Like, it's cool for you guys
Are
to
you in
do
support
it.
of the soapy dance? Let us know.
I'm not in support of the dance.
It's them.
Like, okay, guys, if you're in support, let us know. Do you like the soapy dance? If you've seen it, all right, just call us. Let's know what you think quickly. All right,
Soapy
We have a
dance.
few minutes left on the show. Soapy dance. I don't know. I know many of us. We have a lot of young people listening. So if you're a fan of Mara Mali and you know the soapy dance, so you tried it and you think you like it, let me know. Call me up on what's the number again? Okay, 0817. I'm angry. It's the point.
0000951.
0817-0000951.
Oh my goodness.
And 0810-951-0951. Let's quickly get your thoughts on this. Hello, Today 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Please give some new information about the celebrity world. If there are Mali and the rest out of this thing. Give us a better story, I think.
Okay, don't die from that. God will bless you, my brother. He says it's the on Naira Mali. He needs something else. Like, brother, you just,
Well, let
oh
me
my
tell
God.
you something that's about the artist Toyin Odu Tola.
Yeah, we'll
that-
wrap up with her.
Oh my God, she sold a portrait for about, I think, 212 million naira.
Hey, God, my son will paint.
One portrait, guys.
And she's made for life.
One.
Hey, let's hear this person first. Hey, what's up? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, your name, please, and straight to the point.
My name is Enya. I'm calling from Romola.
Okay.
This is one of the worst videos I've ever seen. Seriously.
Thank you very much. Like, I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, you're taking sides. Like, what's up? What's bad is bad. And that ish right there, soapy dance, I don't
It's
vibe
very
to it.
bad.
I don't vibe to it. I think
But-
somebody needs to begin to teach our young people some level of, like, you know, you don't put yourself in certain positions like, yo, MJ never did that. It's still the best dancer
Come
that
on,
ever
be
walked the earth.
specific, MJ. Me, I never did that, guys.
Michael Jackson, I meant. Chris Brown never did that. Usher Raymond's never did that. Like, you cannot bring Pokoli or bring Naira Marley, this dance, anywhere close to where Usher is. Like, nobody would even look at you like, yo, what's this? Like, what are you doing? Like, really? We got to go. We don't have time. I'm pissed off. Shout out to the woman again, your Toyin Odutola. It's not easy to sell a painting for 215 million. Oh,
It's 12.
Okay, 212 million naira.
Yeah.
Just stop working now. Go and rest. That's all I can tell you. Like, yo, go rest. My son will be a painter. What about your daughter?
An artist, not a painter.
I thought
She's an
I
artist.
thought, okay, my son will be an artist.
She's an artist.
Okay, an artist.
Mm.
Whatever you want to call it, your daughter might be the muse. Like, say, get proper inspiration. All right, the world news is next, people. Thank you very much. But the recap is in the evening, yeah?
Here by 6:30.
All right, so you can join MG on that one. But for now, we got to go for the news. I'm still the coolest kid on the radio, the guy just after love. You can call me Trace.
And I am Majesty Sampson.
And bye-bye for now.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
All right, good afternoon, and this is the World News here on your Premium Talk Radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Ifeemi Andrew. On the headlines, Senate sets up committee to unravel remote and immediate causes of pipeline explosion at Kumkum community in Oyigbo Local Council of Rivers State. National Assembly members came out lawmaker representing Obiakpo Federal Constituency Kingsley Chinda as minority leader. 2 people confirmed dead and over 30 vehicles burnt in early morning fire that engulfed NNPC pipeline at Ijegun in Lagos. And on the foreign scene, United Nations envoy to Libya, Ghassan Salame, condemns air raid on migrants detention center in Tripoli that killed dozens. And now the details. President Muhammadu Buhari has assented to the Nigeria Police Trust Fund Bill and 8 others passed by the 8th National Assembly. He, however, rejected 17 of other bills. The senior special assistant to the President on National Assembly matters, Senator Ita Inang, released a list of the assented bills. Other bills assented to by the President included the Nigeria Natural Medicine Establishment Act, FCT Management Board and Health Insurance Bill, Suppression of Piracy and Other Maritime Defense Bill, and the Institute of Transport Administration of Nigeria Bill. Also assented to were the National Institute of Construction Technology and Management Establishment Bill, National Agricultural Seed Council Bill, Agriculture Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund Amendment Bill, and the FCT Primary Health Care Board Bill. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has traveled out of the country to Rwanda. He will be representing the president at the 25th anniversary of the liberation of Rwanda, which will be marked on Thursday, July 4. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolu Akande, Osinbajo, who is accompanied on the trip by senior government officials, will join other African leaders and heads of state expected at the occasion in Kigali, which will reflect on the end of the genocide in 1994. It is expected to be back in the country on Thursday, July 4. And the federal government has suspended the planned Ruga settlements program. An aide to the presidency who confirmed this, however, said the Nigerian Governors Forum will be speaking on the matter soon. The Ruga initiative has for some time now been generating heated debates in various quarters, with some arguing that it is a scheme by the government of the day to reposition the Fulani tribe. However, the presidency has defended the controversial Ruga settlements program, saying that the initiative is for the benefit of all. And senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, and the chairman, Human Environment Development Agenda, Olarewaju Suraju, have urged President Muhammadu Buhari to apologize to Nigerians for saying in the past that the former head of state, late General Sani Abacha, did not loot the country. The duo, who spoke during Human Environment Development Agenda's conference in Abuja, stated that with facts available and also given that Buhari's administration has recovered part of the Abacha loot, it was necessary for Buhari to apologize to Nigerians for his statement. Falana, lamenting the looting and alleged mismanagement of huge sums of money belonging to Nigeria, also stated that Western countries, including their banks that colluded with some Nigerians to loot the country, should be made to pay for their unlawful action. And the senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, Senator Elisha Abu, has apologized to Nigerians and women in general following the viral video in which he was seen physically assaulting a lady. Senator Abu, at a media briefing in Abuja, also apologized to his party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for his actions. The Adamawa North senator asked for forgiveness, saying it is not in his character to assault women.
The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, my family, my friends, as well as others, the Nigerian women. I personally apologize to Bibra and our family for my actions.
Earlier, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party says it has commenced investigation into the allegation that a senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, Elisha Abu, assaulted a nursing mother. In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olugbadiyan, the PDP said it was shocked that the harmless victim of the unprovoked assault is said to be a nursing mother who ought to be protected. It therefore condemned the assault on the woman by the senator, describing it as lawless and callous. The statement disclosed that the party has summoned Senator Abu in line with the provisions of the Constitution of the PDP and Code of Conduct of its members. The party further assured Nigerians that it will always stand on the side of justice and will never spare a thought in taking action on any of its members found wanting, particularly those elected or appointed into public offices. In the meantime, the Nigerian Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate allegations of assault against Senator Elisha Abu. 6 men and 2 women have been chosen as members of the committee, which will be headed by Senator Sam Egu. Senators Stella Odwa and Oluremi Tinubu are the women in the committee that have been given 2 weeks to conclude its investigations. The matter was raised as a point of order by Senator Uba Sani. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu has ordered an investigation into the trending video of an assault of a nursing mother by Senator Elisha Abu at a sex toy shop in Abuja. The IGP directed the Commissioner of Police in charge of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command, Bala Siroma, to carry out the investigation. He also asked the CP to undertake a forensic investigation of the video, which showed Abu repeatedly slapping his victim over what appeared to be a mild disagreement while a police officer looked on. Force Public Relations Officer at DCP Frank Umba has also confirmed the IGP's directive, which he said would highlight the circumstances surrounding the assault.
With our constitutional mandate, the Inspector General of Police has already ordered the Commissioner of Police in charge of FCT Command, CP Bala Chiroma, to actually commence a very comprehensive, holistic investigation into this incident.
And now protesters have stormed the National Assembly complex in Abuja demanding the prosecution of Senator Elisha Abu for assaulting a lady at a sex toy shop. The protesters, including popular activist Aisha Yesufu, said the People's Democratic Party lawmaker must be prosecuted alongside his police orderlies. And there was a rowdy session at the House of Representatives over the announcement of minority leadership positions. The incident broke out after Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila ignored a letter by the People's Democratic Party nominating Rivers lawmaker Kingsley Chinda as the minority leader of the House. Gbajabiamila rather announced Ndudi Elumelu from Delta State as minority leader, which led to protest as some aggrieved members of the House. Speaking with newsmen after the plenary, the member representing Obiakpo Federal Constituency, Kingsley Chinda, said they will not accept a situation where the majority in the House will impose a minority leader on members.
And we all agreed that the party should go back amongst the nominees and choose from amongst them and report back to us. And we reconvened and received the report of the party, and we left satisfied. Only for us to attend plenary today to see this ambush. We are not going to take it. We must do things properly. We are members of minority party. Our leadership will not be determined by the majority party. We are aware of the schemings of the APC, that the target is that they are going to decimate the minority parties in parliament and that they will decide who becomes minority leaders in parliament. We will not allow that to happen.
Meanwhile, members of other minority parties in the House, including Ifeanyi Moma of the All Progressives Grand Alliance Abga and Anambra State, had this to say.
When the other group came, and they were mentioning only one party, they didn't mention other parties. Minority leader is not for one party. They are making mistake of being APC and PDP alone in the House. We have other political parties like my own party, ADC. We have ABGA. We have PRP. We have AA. We have SDP. And all of us are here present.
Order 7 Rule 8 of our standing rules makes it categorically clear. It states there that the members of the minority parties shall nominate from amongst themselves the 4 minority positions outlined there. Members of the minority parties. The minorities in the House, there's PDP, there's ABGA, there's AA, there's ADP, there's SDP, there's Labour, and other parties there. So when PDP will have their own meeting and issue a communique to that effect, does that communique remain binding on other parties?
Ifeanyi Moma of APGA in Anambra State said the PDP has no right to decide who leads the minority parties in the House. And President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan has appealed to the Nigeria Labour Congress to shelve the proposed industrial action due to delay in the implementation of the 30,000 naira minimum wage. Lawan, who made the appeal when the executives of the NLC and the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, led by Ayuba Waba and Sunday Sabiyi, visited him in Abuja, called for further understanding and patriotism, adding that some states have started paying the agreed minimum wage. Lawan also promised the labor unions that the state will journey with them to ensure absolute implementation of the minimum wage by the federal government. And if you just tuned in, you're listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more stories, the foreign scene, and then sports news. Stay tuned.
Important announcement from Rivers State Internal Revenue Service. The Rivers State Internal Revenue Service has commenced a process of collecting taxes and levies from the informal sector. All acceptable modalities, including a thorough and verifiable assessment mechanism for the smooth takeoff of the project, have been worked out. Taxpayers in the state are hereby requested to cooperate with the Rivers State government to ensure a hitch-free process. All taxes due the Rivers State government should be paid through government-designated revenue accounts only. Do not patronize touts. Do not pay cash to anyone. Do the right thing. Pay your tax. Signed, Management, Rivers State Internal Revenue Service.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. You're still listening to the World News here on Today 95.1 FM, your premium talk radio station. And now to more stories. The Senate has set up a committee headed by Ibrahim Gorbir Sokoto APC to unravel the remote and immediate causes of the pipeline explosion that killed 15 persons and injured over 50 others at Kumkum community in Oyigbo Local Council of Rivers State. The upper legislative chamber, sympathizing with the government and people of Rivers State, directed the National Emergency Management Agency to visit the scene of the explosion and provide succor to the victims. It also urged the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Pipelines and Product Marketing Company and other agencies in the oil and gas sector to improve security of oil installations nationwide. The resolution of the Senate followed a motion sponsored by George Sekepo, Rivers East, and 3 others. And a video clip on the circumstances surrounding the death of Dr. Ferry Berekbe, who was allegedly shot and died during the last governorship election in Rivers State, has been played before Justice Adolphus Anebeli at the State High Court. Justice Adolphus Anebeli ordered the playing of the video clip after ruling on the affidavit and counter-affidavit by the applicant and defendant counsels on the fundamental human rights violation case. Justice Anebeli ruled that there should be oral evidence and witness, which led to the playing of the video clip in the courtroom, after which he ordered the counsels to make their witnesses ready on the next adjourned date. Correspondent Uchendu Jawo reports that Justice Anebeli thereafter adjourned till 12th of July for hearing. Speaking to newsmen outside the court, applicant counsel Lezina Amegwa insisted that the video clip has proven their position in court, that the husband of his client was shot by the defendants, who are men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and the former commander ACP Akin Fakorede. On his part, counsel to the defendants, SN Edet, narrated that what transpired in court, saying that they are not disturbed by the playing of the video clip, which he said serves as means of transparency. Meanwhile, the wife of the victim, Ronke Egberegwe, is asking the court to uphold her right to compensation from the killers of her husband, Dr. Ferry Beregbe. And the Rivers State Police Command has joined the campaign against HIV and AIDS with the inauguration of the Police Action Committee on AIDS, PACA. State Commissioner of Police Usman Belal, while inaugurating the committee in Port Harcourt, said the overall goal of the PACA is to prevent new infection and reduce its barest minimum the impact of HIV and AIDS on the command. CP Belal encouraged members of the committee to remain professional in the discharge of their duties.
For tackling and managing HIV, tuberculosis, and related pandemic was introduced, further drive sensitization and advocacy for the holistic management of these various illnesses. The Rivers State Police Command continue to invest efforts and ensure both physical and mental health of personnel deployed within the state is being taken care of. HIV/AIDS have become a social threat emanating from social behaviors, which though avoidable are of great concern and face persons personalities bearing the ailment, thus affecting most organizations.
And now, Taraba State House of Assembly has amended the State Kidnapping and Abduction Prohibition Law 2010 with a new section prescribing death penalty to persons found guilty of kidnapping. The bill, which was sponsored by the Speaker of the State Assembly, Peter Dia, has passed legislative processes and is now waiting for the governor's assent. According to the law, any person convicted of kidnapping or abduction will be sentenced to death and also forfeit all property and proceeds traceable to him to the state government. Other amendments are that those who attempt to kidnap or abduct a person shall, on conviction, be sentenced to life imprisonment. And now 2 people have been confirmed dead and over 30 vehicles burnt following the early morning fire that engulfed the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation pipeline at Ijegun, a Lagos suburb. Suspected pipeline vandals were said to have ignited the fire at about 5 a.m. today at Fire Junction, Ijegun, in a bid to prevent security operatives from pursuing them. According to the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, the vandals had siphoned premium motor spirit into a 33,000-litre capacity tanker and were loading a second one when security operatives intercepted them. While fleeing, the vandals spilled some of the PMS, which entered drainages and allegedly led a fire that followed the spilled content backwards to the pipeline. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has reacted to the pipeline explosion caused by vandals at Ijegun in Lagos State. The corporation said the situation is under control and called for calm. According to a statement by the Group Managing General Manager, Public Affairs of NDDC, NNPC, Undu Ugamadu, Group Managing Director, NNPC, Maikanti Baru, has directed NNPC's team of engineers to move at the scene and have the situation contained. And President and Chairman of Council Nigeria Employers Consultative Association NECA Mohammed Yunusa is dead. According to a brief statement from NECA, he died yesterday. Details of his death are, however, still sketchy, but Yunusa will be buried according to Islamic rites later today in Lagos. And another lady has accused the senior pastor of Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Pastor Biodo Fatoyibo, of raping her. The lady who spoke under condition of anonymity in an interview said the incident happened in 2017 at the pastor's house. She said she was a member and an employee of the church at the time and worked directly with the pastor. According to her, Pastor Fatoyibo asked her to come to his house on the particular day to take some instructions and go for an errand. This fresh allegation comes just days after Busola Dakolo, wife of popular musician Timi Dakolo, accused Pastor Fatoyibo of raping her. And on the foreign scene, the United Nations envoy to Libya, Ghassan Salame, has condemned an air raid on a migrant detention center in Tripoli that killed dozens of people, saying the attack clearly could constitute a war crime. The air attack intensified concerns about the European Union's policy of teaming up with Libyan militias to block refugees and migrants from crossing the Mediterranean, which often leaves them at the mercy of brutal traffickers or stranded in horrible conditions inside squalid detention centers near the front lines. It could also lead to greater pressure on renegade military commander Khalifa Haftar, whose forces launched an offensive to seize the capital in April. The Tripoli-based UN-recognized government of national accord blamed pro-Haftar forces of carrying out the attack on the detention camp. According to the UN support mission in Libya, the air raid killed at least 44 people and wounded more than 130. And Boeing has announced that it would give $100 million to communities and families affected by 2 crashes on its 737 MAX planes that claimed 346 lives. Describing the sum as an initial investment over multiple years, the company said it would work with local governments and non-profit organizations to provide hardship and living expenses and boost economic development in regions affected by crashes of planes operated by Ethiopian Airlines and Lion Air. The aircraft manufacturer faces numerous lawsuits filed by the victims' families. And in sports, latest reports reaching us have it that Frank Lampard has been appointed as Chelsea's new head coach. Lampard, who spent 13 years playing for Chelsea and became its all-time leading scorer with 211 goals, signed a 3-year contract with the club. The Blues agreed a deal with Derby County worth £4 million to cover the final 2 years of Lampard's contract at Pride Park after a week of talks with the 41-year-old. And with that, we end the news. But before we go, here is a summary of our major stories. The Senate has set up a committee to unravel the remote and immediate causes of the pipeline explosion at Comcom community in Oyigba Local Government Council of Rivers State. National Assembly members have schemed out the lawmaker representing Obiakwa Federal Constituency, Kingsley Chinda, as minority leader. 2 people have been confirmed dead and over 30 vehicles burned in early morning fire that engulfed an NPC pipeline at Ijegun in Lagos. And on the foreign scene, we told you that the United Nations envoy to Libya, Ghassan Salame, has condemned the air raid on a migrant detention center in Tripoli that killed dozens. And that's how we wrap things up on the news, edited by Emmanuel Okoro. For comments and inquiries, please call 0815-341-8657 or 0814-434-3502. You can send your emails to news@todayfmlive.com or you read our stories online at www.todayfmlive.com.
That's our package for you for the hour. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon. And once again, my name is Ifeemi Andrew.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.